welcome right now. Let me tell you right now, we're doing this live Q&A with me, Big Beard. Now, in case no one knows how the show is, you're supposed to, I am going to give you the guest, whoever it may be at the time. I'm going to give you 10 questions and 10 words to associate. So 10 word association, 10 questions. In this case, some of my friends, the guys who have already actually been on the show, have actually went ahead and wrote me some questions. So today, live, I'm going to read these questions, and we have 20, well, we have 20, and I think we have 2 bonus ones if they'll come through before the end of the show. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start. Thank you. This 15th installment, I'm going to 100, so bear with me. You'll notice things are a little different right now. Instead of it being crystal clear, I'm actually on my laptop. So we're going to do the show from here. All right. How you doing there? Look, we got a guy in the room there. Look at that. Oh, Keg Belly, how are you doing, man? Look at that. I like that. We got people coming. That's cool. Let me look at my notes here. We got Keg Belly, Marty Mumbles have wrote me some questions. Cousin Amos, he's looking more Amish every day that I see him. That's what's weird. He just wait till you get him back on the show or see him. So yeah, we're gonna good. Yeah, awesome, man. Be sure to share this video, put it on Facebook, tell them what's going on right now, at least for the next 30 minutes. Here in just a moment, I'm going to start these questions here. You'll hear some noise in the background. My neighbor is cutting grass. We're just going to keep it going. He had no idea. There's no need to bother that at all. Are you doing good on a Friday, Keg Belly? Are you doing good tonight, man? Always give that there just a moment of talking. All right, guys, look, we're going to go ahead and thank everybody for getting on here. You can hear me. That's good. All right. The mic's set up a little different today. So I'm actually more confused and nervous right now. Certain things are not what I'm used to. Good, Keg Belly. Excuse me. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to go ahead and start it right now. We got some things going on here in the studio here. Let me turn that down. All right. So on this Friday's episode, once again, if you're just tuning in, it's going to be a Q&A with me, and the friends have composed questions, and I'm going to read them. Keg Belly, you're in here. Once again, Marty Mumbles is in here. Amos, we got some questions. So here we go. We're going to kick it off right now, as long as it takes. I don't know. But here we go. Question number 1. This comes from Marty Mumbles in the group. Anybody else is welcome to ask other questions. He says, will you ever cut your beard? To answer the question truthfully, no. I have never, a trim maybe, but I've never thought about cutting it off. If I cut 2 inches, that's too much. If I cut an inch, it's too much. Confident, this is the second question, confident or cocky? I like to think I'm confident. I have no reason to be cocky. Anybody I meet is always doing a challenge in their life, no matter what the challenge is. People are always going through something. So to be cocky, I can't be cocky. Because if I walk around thinking I'm something, somebody else may be learning or may be doing that better than me. So I'm confident. And I'm confident the things that I'm good at, that's what I'm confident in. Question 3, do you have an inside voice? No, it's no, I don't. I sure don't. There's a whole story behind that. I was in drama class when I was young, and I, believe it or not, they could not hear me. So I was taught a 12-inch voice. And they're like, you're taught your 6-inch voice. It's what we like to project. So I was really like talking like this, I guess, for a long time. I guess it was really low. And I don't know. That hurts me to do that. So, no, I don't have an inside voice. Oh, here's one. Number 4, what would your pro wrestling name be? Now, this is a good question. Now, those who actually, once again, I always say know me, know that I wanted to pursue wrestling at a young age. I absolutely wanted to be up there. I won't even name drop the guys I looked up to because I'm not about that, but I absolutely wanted to be a wrestler. And my name, I hadn't thought about it much, but the one that always came to me was like BJ the Barbarian, Can you imagine hearing that right now? I mean, I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, BJ the Barbarian! I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Question number 5. Chocolate or vanilla? Well, you know what? Chocolate. I've got to say chocolate. I like vanilla. I like it a lot, okay? But I like vanilla in stuff. I like or putting stuff in my vanilla ice cream, from crushed up wafers to vanilla wafers to whatever it may be. So, chocolate. I do like chocolate. I like it, period. It's pretty good. Who don't like chocolate ice cream? All right. Now we're going to move right here. I'm going to say whose names they are as well. Cousin Amos. Oh, wow. He says, what is your favorite beer? My favorite beer. And I'm saying this because you're asking, like if I had to have a beer, like everybody's got that. Well, I like a good beer. I like a good beer. Well, if I've got to choose, Shiner. I love Shiner Bock. And yes, it is from Shiner, Texas. I visit San Antonio every now and then. Right outside, I got family. And we don't go to Shiner, Texas, but the beer is magnificent, especially when you get it it's about an hour and a half, I think he was telling me. And north of where we were, very, very good stuff. Very good. So I'm going to say Shiner. And I like Yingling. And then you got Ice House. And then they got Coors and Coors Light and Bud Light and stuff like that. But if I'm going to have to walk in and get a beer, I'm going to have to get Shiner. Since we don't have it where I'm at, I actually, I get my Yingling a lot. I get that a lot. So, yeah, Amos, there you go. Oh, Amos says, what is your favorite liquor? Wow. I used to drink a lot. That's another thing that can come up at a later time and date. We can talk about my past, but I want to stay hosting right now. My favorite liquor. Oh, God, geez. I don't know that I can say I have a favorite one. When I was younger, I had a go-to drink, a go-to. I don't know, dude. I like Jack Daniels. I like Jim Beam. I like my browns and reds. If I'm really, I love Old Granddad. Old Granddad's pretty good, but I'm gonna say, for a good smooth one that goes down, no flavor drink, just a straight up liquor. I don't know. I'm gonna say I like Rebel Yell. Rebel Yell's a smooth one, and that may be a Southern whiskey. I'm not really not sure about that, but it's kind of like a $15 fifth. From what I haven't drank it in years, but I remember it being really, really smooth. So, but also, I've got some other liquors that I like too. But I like my Rebel Yell. Rebel Yell. Okay, Keg Belly wrote and asked me some questions too. So he says, "What's the fastest car you ever drove?" Well, let me go ahead and it's kind of a two-part question or answer. One, I've never driven super fast. I went like 100 and I think it was like 110, 108, just me. And it don't matter when I did it. It's been a long time ago. That's the only reason I'm talking about it. Other than that, I rode in a car. My cousin went down this one stretch of road. I will not say it, but if I did, those locals that are watching this would go, we know where he's talking about. But it was a 5-point harness system. My cousin had redone his car, his dragster, and we went 135 down this one stretch of road. So that was that's the fastest I went. So, Keg Belly said, how high have you climbed up in a tree? I don't, to answer the question, probably about 25 feet, 30 feet at least. Well, that's how tall the tree was. I probably went up, 20 feet. For real, I was a kid. I had a playhouse. I don't know, between 15 and 20. That's what I'm going to say. That down the safe side. I said like 3 different answers there. But I'm going to say that. I'm definitely, we'll go with that. Number 10, do you eat eggs? Now, so some that may be like, what kind of question is that? Those who have been around me and heard me speak of them, I'm going to say no, I don't eat eggs. I'm not against eggs. I'm not anything. I have 3 children. My wife craved them through all 3 pregnancies. We'll talk about that later as well on another episode of Big Beard and Friends. If I eat eggs, if I'm not cooking them. However, my daughter, my oldest, 13, makes some killer deviled eggs. We'll have to tell you all about that. And these guys have actually seen this go down with her and her making. Somebody just wrote, yeah. All right. Number 11. Have you ever been to the Grand Canyon? Keg Belly asked. And I say no. I have not been to the Grand Canyon. I think I would like to go. I think the history of the Grand Canyon, and I don't know it all, but to know that essentially it was that tall, because it's so deep, but at one time it was that tall and it was just like a stream and a river and a creek and it got wider and wider, maybe not in that correct order, but to know that it was just a water and then years and years and years and years and years. What if thousands, several thousands, maybe billions. I don't even know how deep it is, so I can only say so much. So no, I haven't been there, but I would love to go. All right, more of Marty. Marty wrote in and says, have you ever cliff dove or dived? And yes, I have twice. And those 2 times may or may not involve alcohol. And it was about 18 to 20 feet. Climbed up. I was over my cousin's. He lives on a cove, a giant cove. And yes, we some of you know who I'm talking about. So, all right. Marty says, have you ever been to the Gulf of Mexico? Yes. I believe. In there, to me, it's a body of water. We're inlet, as we know, it's the Gulf, and then you got the ocean. So I've been all around there, parts of Florida, part through it, visiting. So absolutely. Some people think that it's this or that, and I've heard different opinions, and that I don't understand, but everybody's different. So to answer the question, yes, I have. All right, let's see this right here. Have you ever been on a cruise? Number 14. Marty Mumbles asked. No, Marty, I have never been on a ship at all that has actually moved anywhere. Builder Bob there. Builder Bob, he's over here to the side talking here as well, which is Cousin Amos. You guys be sure to check him out. He says 25 and 35-foot cliff. Oh, wow. That's amazing. And I don't know about no 35. All right. Number 15, another question Marty says is, what are some of your favorite foods? Now, you can look at me and tell that I don't miss a meal. I love to eat. I absolutely love to eat. So if I have to choose, I am a burger and fry man and burger and dog man, okay? Some of my favorite foods, though, is a Mongolian chicken, a Mongo beef, and not to mention crab ragoons. Like, that's some of my favorite food. I want to do some recipes in the air fryer my wife says she has, and we're going to do that too. Might even critique the air fryer ragoons. Who knows? We may do several parts. We're going to do some shows coming up, not coming up, but in future. Where I'm going to make something and the guys are going to taste it and tell me their honest opinion, and we're going to do that with each other. So that's going to be fun. So yeah, Mongo beef is chicken and beef. The 3-part shrimp, chicken, beef is fantastic to me. You know, I like a slaw burger. That's one of my favorite foods. I absolutely can dig that. So yeah, those who don't know that, we'll talk about that one day too. All right, number 16, Marty says, how many phones have you had? I'm going to sit here for a second. How many phones have you had? Well, Marty, I know that I have known you. Yeah, I can already hear you laughing through this. This is what's funny. I have known Marty years, and he's seen me with a phone. He's seen me with another phone, and he's, you know what, I ain't even going to front. How many phones have I had? And this is just what I can grab up. So, yeah. Now I got to find out which one's which. These are phones. He's right, guys. I can't say anything about it. Those are 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there's 5 and 6, and there's one that was shot there in the backyard somewhere. So probably about 10 phones since I've known you, Marty. Almost 15 years, safe to say. All right, Cousin Amos wrote in and said he takes the number 17 question here. He says, have you ever done backyard wrestling? Yes. When I was really younger, I did some backyard wrestling stuff. I have jumped off my house. I have had my head split open. I've broken my ribs, and I jumped off little buildings and just dump stuff. Power bombed on a washer and dryer. I jumped on a ironing board, and the guy that was happening to moved, and I hit the ironing board. I have been hit with a spiky bat, and I've also had fluorescent light bulbs, about those 6 inches, 5 or 6 inches around, or whatever they are, 4, whatever, and like 5 foot long back in a department store. I've had those busted over my forehead and as well my back. Now, am I bragging about that? No, but I'm 37 years old now, and I did this stuff when I was 17, 16. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I'm just saying. Number 18, Amos says, how long have you been driving? Well, to answer that question, about 8 years. I've had my license. I've been driving legally, off and on, 8 years. All right, and number 19. What states have you been to? Well, I went to Tennessee. I have been to Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Iowa, Ohio, Illinois, Kentucky, Indianapolis, or Indiana. I'm sorry, I was thinking Indianapolis, and I think that's pretty much it. Florida, Alabama, Mississippi. I went through Louisiana once, I believe, Missouri. So yeah, those are some of the places. I just had a message come through. Let me bring this. Oh, there it is. All right, so I'll be reading these 2 questions that came in during the show here. So what's 1, 2, what is that? 8 states or whatever it is. I've been to like 8, not a lot at all. Like to visit some more, see what's up. I think some cool places, cool people are in some cool parts. They have to be because it's beautiful. When you get to the Midwest, I can only imagine going to the West or going all the way east. Oh, and I've been to Pennsylvania. Sorry. And I've been through whatever that is there. Pittsburgh to Philadelphia. So I went through there. Matter of fact, the kids, Polly the kid, he actually rode with his folks when we were younger and went and helped his aunt move. So that was kind of cool. All right. Number 20. What states have you lived in? Well, besides Georgia, I lived in Iowa and I lived in Missouri. I lived in a place called King City, Missouri for 3 months. And actually in King City, I learned a lot. It was like a town of like 5 churches, 5 streets, and like 35 houses, probably. I'm not sure about that. But it's small, and everything happened on the square. And everybody got along with everybody there in King City. Now, I was the outsider, and I moved there to help a friend. And if we went to a bar, we had to go 30 minutes out of town twice, or 2 ways. And if I stood on the back porch of the place I was at, I could look up and see a stop sign that way and a stop sign that way. And that was the beginning and the end of town. Everything took place in the square. They had a 50-year-old supermarket that the people still ran. And I'm sure that it's still there, maybe. I'm not sure. Matter of fact, I think it's not. But I lived there, and I lived in Iowa. Now, when I lived in Iowa, I lived in Grinnell, or Gilman, Iowa. I lived in Marion. I lived in Cedar Rapids. And I lived in, well, I guess that's it there. So that's it. That's it. All right. These other questions that came in. And this is kind of cool. Johnny Stumbles wrote me. And so we're going to bring his questions up here. What is your favorite live event that you've been to? Well, one of my favorite live events has to be a Tanya Tucker concert. I know that sounds crazy. I haven't been to many live events. That's one of my favorites. Now, the reason being is it was just cool. I had never been to a concert. I didn't grow up in that world. I didn't grow anywhere. I'm sure there's other things. That's one of my favorites. But up until a point, I would always say Tanya Tucker. But recently, more so, I actually went to a Bigfoot monster truck show with my kid, my dad. So I'm going to say that. The Tanya Tucker at one time I would have said it. But, you know, seeing the monster trucks, I'd never been to that either. I didn't grow up that way. In the South, everybody has that thought, you know, everybody's going in a monster truck and doing this. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. But I didn't do that. So that's kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right, he's got another one here. If you could have an hour conversation with anyone, living or dead, who would it be? Wow. Who would it be? Living or dead? An hour conversation? Wow. That really is one to ponder. If I had an hour long with anybody in the world, living or dead, you know, I love to talk to Jesus. I'd love to sit down and actually talk to Jesus, the man. I think that would be cool in the flesh. Answered the question. I don't know what else to say on that. All right. There's a lot of others that you would want to, like, have a beer with, but sit and have a conversation with. I could do that. I thought we had another question coming in here. And we do not, and that is okay. I want to thank you guys for staying in and staying tuned. Actually, at the most, I had 5 people one time, I think. I'm glad that you tune in. I'm glad you guys are helping me grow. The numbers are not lying, and I thank you. Only in 3 months have I had the show. So in these 3 months, I've been working and working and working, and done a lot. We've had, well, not 3 months. Had the show 3 months. I was thinking this 3 months quarantine that everybody's been in. I've worked on it a lot, but I've been working on this since the beginning of the year. But it has been since November, mid-October. So absolutely. As I always say, guys, I love every one of you. You want more questions? You want more things to be asked me? Write them in. I'm going to have a P.O. box that I'm going to put up on the screen in a future episode. And I hope you guys join me next Friday. Now, we're going to shoot that episode coming up. So anybody else that wants to be a part of the show or would like to be interviewed, if you don't want to come down here, which I understand, if you can, any other parts of the nation, any other parts of the world, write me and we will set up a Zoom call and I'll talk to you. And I'll ask you what I always do to everybody, 10 questions and 10 words. Those 10 words I'm going to say, you guys turn around and say whatever the first thing that's in your mind. Then I'm going to ask you 10 questions, and that's pretty much it. But I love everybody. I will always love you guys. I'm not your enemy. You can grow and you can do these things that you want to do. Don't let nobody hold you back. We got so many things going on in this world right now. So many people are thinking to give up. So many people are flipped upside down in one way, and they're all beside themselves. I'm telling you, take the small break every Friday that I bring you. And they're going to be more through the week, but every Friday, take the small break and let me get your mind out of the gutter and out of life. I don't care if it's dumb or you say, this guy's no. I want to break your monotony of the world going on. Soon, I'm going to go up to strangers on the street. That's a whole nother issue we're going to talk about later. Thank you guys for the questions. Thank you for tuning in. All you guys, all the friends, everybody that's been the part of the guests. I've talked to you guys already. I love you all. I will always love you all. And you know how we do what we do when we do. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Thank you so much. Big Beard presentation 2020.